like to call to order the meeting of the Finance Committee. Sitting on behalf of the committee will be myself as the chair, Councilor Gould, Councilor Manning Martin, Councilor McGinn, and Councilor Rosignol. First item on the agenda is the transfer of funds for the police salaries and police overtime account in the amount of $380,000. Mr. Gingrich.
Thank you. We recently settled contracts for the police and fire. I've gone through and looked at the trends and made some estimates to try to get us to finish out the year based on those increases. And the request for the police is $380,000.
I'll take questions from the council from Mr. Gingrich. Councilor Manning Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you to Mr. Gingrich. Now, I know the contract, the last contract for the police had some language change in it, and I think that this year there's like no language change. Is that correct? And this is just a financial increase. Is that correct?
I think for the most part, there's changes from one year to the next, but I don't believe there's any significant language changes.
Right, because I think the previous one, you made an adjustment for supervisors to have X amount of percentage over those they supervise. And that was the major change a few years ago in the last contract.
Right.
But in this because we don't have the contracts in front of us, and I realize we're simply being asked to approve the transfer for the contract that the mayor negotiated. I understand that. But I just like to know that language changes if there are any. And in this one, it's as it's presented to us, it's merely a increase for, was it 2%?
2%.
It's 2% salary increase, and that's the major issue. That's the major issue that's before us. Thank you.
Any other questions? Councilor McGinn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would move to approve the transfer request from salary reserve, account number 100-1320-51925 in an amount of $105,000 to police salaries, account number 100-2100-51110 in the same amount of $105,000. And in that same motion, I would move to approve the transfer requests from budgetary reserve account 100-1320-57410 in an amount of $275,000 to the police overtime account 100-2100-51130 in an amount of $275,000. So moved.
You've heard the motion by Councilor McGinn. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilors McGinn,
Yes.
Rosignol,
Yes.
Manning Martin,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Gravel.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
Next item on the agenda is the transfer of funds, fire salary, and fire overtime. Councilor Manning Martin will recuse.
Yes, I will recuse myself from this portion of the Finance Committee meeting, as my brother is a captain on the fire department and has been for a couple decades. So, thank you.
Councilor Turco, could we have the honor of having you join the committee for this particular item?
Certainly.
Mr. Gingrich.
Again, this is the same idea as the previous vote. We've gone through and see what the trends are, estimated what would be needed for the closeout towards the year end based on the new contract adjustments.
Questions on behalf of the council? Seeing none, if I could have a motion, Councilor Turco.
Mr. Chairman, move to transfer from salary reserve account number 100-1320-3, it looks like maybe 51925, $195,000 to fire salaries account number 100-2200-51110. Also in the same motion, transfer of funds from budgetary reserve account number 100-1320-57410, the amount of $210,000 to fire overtime account number 100-220-51130 for $185,000. So moved.
You've heard the motion by Councilor Turco. Any comments, questions? Seeing Councilor Rosenbaum.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize through you to Mr. Gingras. Is there any particular reason why the both salary reserve and budget reserve, it's not neater just going from 220, moving it over? Was there any particular reason why the 195 versus the 220 from the salary reserve?
Yeah, the 195 closes out that account.
Thank you.
That was a great question, though. It really was. Any other questions before we run on the motion? Seeing none, roll call.
Councilors McGinn,
Yes.
Rozignol,
Yes.
Turco,
Yes.
Gould,
Yes.
Gravel.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0.
And the police and fire department appreciate it. We pulled this up forward so that they could get the settlement done with their contract. This will help take care of the payback. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.